and welcome to our first day of Vlogmas 2025. This is the first time I'm doing Vlogmas. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it because it means that I get to quilt every day all month up until the week of Christmas. So I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. So this is what we are doing, okay? If you missed my last video, I'm gonna give you the groundwork for what this Vlogmas is gonna be like. So basically, we are doing a free motion quilting challenge. Now, if you are brand new to free motion quilting, if you've never done it before, this is a perfect opportunity for you to learn some really easy, simple, fun, and beautiful free motion quilting designs. This is the plan, okay? I will do a little caveat here. My wrist is sore. I have soreness in the top of my wrist. It's from doing a ridiculous amount of cutting, prepping for my Black Friday sale, and I just overworked it a little bit. So it should feel better in a couple of days. I've had this happen before where I think it just gets a little inflamed in there because of overworking it, planning on it moving forward smoothly and it'd be totally fine. So today we're going to start off with a super easy one. And what we're going to do is we're going to do one each day. So Monday through Thursday, we will have a free motion quilting design for Vlogmas. Then Fridays are dedicated to my sew along that I'm hosting here in December, where we're making a table runner with my mom's cozy Christmas quilt pattern. If you're joining in on that, yay! Whoop, threw my pen. Yay, it's gonna be super fun. If not, that's totally fine. You can skip those videos, or if you wanna watch them, just cause it's fun to watch other people make stuff, you certainly can do that as well. So, and then Saturday we'll also have a free motion quilting video. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, there'll be free motion quilting videos. Fridays are dedicated to the sew along. And then Sundays I'm taking off because I need a day off, right? And then we're back to it on the next Monday. And that's going to go all the way through Saturday, December 20th. Okay? That is the plan, all right? That is what I have written in my calendar. That is the plan. We're going to be doing 16 free motion quilting designs in total. Ooh, I'm excited. So I went ahead and made a full-blown quilt. You don't have to make a full-blown quilt. If you want to do the challenge, which I will talk about in just a minute, you don't have to do as large of a quilt as I am. There's other ways that you can do it, but this is just how I wanted to do it because I want to have a quilt to commemorate this time and to commemorate this project. And I just thought it would be really fun to have kind of like a quilting sampler quilt, right? So I made this over the weekend. Super, super easy. I just used 15.5-inch squares, and it's literally just a 4x4 layout of 15-inch squares of colors that I really like, that I pulled from my stash. It looks super fun. And each square is going to get a different free motion quilting design in it. So that's what we're going to do. And look at this back. I love this backing. Let me show you this real quick. How pretty is this fabric? This is from Riley Blake Designs. I had this backing in my shop if you're interested in it, but it's really cute. It's like different portraits and landscape pictures, like picture frames. I thought it was really cute. And all the colors that I used for my quilt top go with the back. So I'm really excited about this. So this is going to be a 60 by 60 inch throw size quilt that I will have made then. Now let's talk about the actual challenge and giveaway portion, okay? Because I really wanted to do a giveaway. I thought it would be so fun. I'm going to gather up a whole bunch of fabric, some thread, some other notions, and I'm going to do a fun giveaway at the end of this. But this is what we're going to do. Since I know making a whole huge quilt may not be what everyone wants to do for the challenge, but what I want to do is to enter into the giveaway, you need to at least try each one of our free motion quilting designs, okay? And you will have until the beginning of January to finish the challenge, okay? So you don't have to have it finished by December 20th. You can finish it by, let's see, what day do I come back to work? Hold on. Got to get my planner to look at my calendar so I'm saying the correct dates. Vlogmas is going to go through today, Monday, December 1st, through Saturday, December 20th, okay? We'll be doing 16 free motion quilting designs during that time. All right. Then I am taking 2 weeks off. So that whole next week and the week after that, I will be gone. So I'll be taking those 2 weeks off. Then I'm going to be back to work on December 5th. And then the final day to send in your entry for the giveaway will be that Friday, December 9th. Okay. And all I'm asking for to enter into the giveaway is to try each one of the free motion quilting designs, however you choose to do that, okay? So if you want to make a full-blown quilt and do it the way that I'm doing on solids, you can do that. If you want to do it on different smaller projects, you could make different little pot holders for each design. You could make placemats for the different designs. There's so many different ways you could do it. You could just do little practice sandwiches. You don't even have to finish it. You don't have to finish out the sandwiches and make them little quilts or anything. But you need to at least try each one of the free motion quilting designs, okay? And then once you have each one done, I would like you to send me a picture to my email of your finished free motion quilting project. So however that looks to you, whether you do a quilt, you do smaller quilts, I just need one picture of everything together just so I can see that you actually did it to be able to enter into the giveaway. But I think it's going to be really fun. I'm excited to see everybody try. Let me say it one more time just so we have everything understood with dates. So we're starting today, December 1st, and Vlogmas, my little Vlogmas thing, will end December 20th. And then you have until January 9th to send me in your free motion quilting challenge photos. Once I have those, everyone will be entered into a little randomized spinner thing, and then the winner will be chosen and you will get a really fun package from me. I hope you join in. It's going to be fun. But even if you don't want to do the giveaway, still watch these quilting videos because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn some really fun new designs, and I'm really excited about it. Anyways, I wanted to get all that information out in this first video. So then moving forward, the next videos, I won't be doing this whole spiel at the beginning of each video. Our first free motion quilting design. What should we do? That is the question, right? I wanted to start us out with like the easiest beginner free motion quilting design that there is, pretty much, I think anyways. And that is going to be curved lines, okay? It's going to be real easy. Some people like to do this with a walking foot. I just prefer doing it with my free motion quilting foot because I'm just more comfortable doing free motion. If you'd like to use your walking foot, you certainly can. You will still be eligible for the giveaway, okay? But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to take our stitches from the top and we're just going to organically move in a curve. You can do many curves or you can kind of do large sweeping curves. It's really up to you and kind of what looks pleasing to your eye. Okay, so I'm going to point the camera down and we're going to do this for each design each day. We're going to practice on paper first. I know it's silly. I always get comments from people when I do these videos and I show you how to write on your paper. They're like, well, why would I practice on paper? That doesn't make any sense. But trust me, it does help, okay? Because it kind of gets your mind thinking in that way. And it also helps your hand get used to the movement. And it's all about kind of that brain-hand connection, okay? So let's say this is our quilt block, okay? My quilt blocks are square, but let's just say this is our quilt block. So we're going to start at the top of our quilt block. And we're just going to move our stitches. And we're just going to feel the flow of a curve, okay? And just keep going. And literally, that is what the stitching is. Now you could do, I mean, you could really do some large curves like this, right? If that looks good, if that's something you want to try. Or you could just do like really smooth curves where there's just a few curves in there, right? You could also, when you are doing the curves, you could have them where they kind of match each other, so you're going in the same direction each time. So for example, let's focus on right here. So I could do another one that follows the curves of the original curve. You could do that. That looks pretty cool, right? I imagine that would look really cool all over a quilt, right? Or you could actually go in the opposite direction, right? And kind of move in the opposite direction, and it looks a little more funky. You could also bring your lines and have your lines intersect each other. So let's go off of this curve right here. Let's focus on this one. I could come up here and I could bring my curve and go through the other curve in different spots. And that looks pretty cool too. When you do that all over a quilt, I know it looks a little funky on the paper, but when you do it all over a quilt, it almost looks like waves or like the wind blowing. It looks really cool. I've done this on a couple of quilts before and it looks really neat for an all over quilting design. So that's a really fun one as well. So I would recommend just kind of practice a little bit on paper and kind of figure out what wave type you like. I really liked this first one I did, so this is probably what I'm going to stick with. I'll probably just go in the same direction because I actually really liked the look of this with all of my curves going in one direction. So that's what I'm going to focus on for mine. So let's go over to the sewing machine, get our machine set up for free motion quilting, and then we'll actually start stitching our block. All right, welcome to my sewing machine. I get asked almost every video, so I will say I am using the Juki TL2010Q machine, sewing machine. This is, I love this machine, okay? It's the only machine I've had for, my goodness, it's probably been 6 or maybe 7 years I've had this machine. I've had it for a very long time, and it works great. It's a workhorse. I've never had to have it fixed. It's never broken. I oil it once in a while. That's pretty much the only maintenance it takes to keep up with this machine. And switching out your needle, of course, also. Cleaning out the bobbin area, that's good to do as well. But this is a great machine. But you can use any sewing machine for free motion quilting. So there are a few main points that you need to remember when free motion quilting. And I am going to only go over this in this first video, okay? Don't worry, I'm not going to go over this information in every single video. If you want to skip forward to when we actually start stitching, here is the timestamp for that. I'll have that pop up here so you can skip if you already know how to set up your machine for free motion quilting. But for those who do not know, you need to do a few things. We need to switch out our sewing machine foot for a free motion quilting foot. There are special machine quilting feet. It's either called a free motion quilting foot or some companies call it a darning foot. But I'm gonna grab mine here real quick to show you what it looks like. So this is my free motion quilt. Let's do it with my other hand. This is my free motion quilting foot. Here's where it attaches to the machine. And here's where the needle goes through. And this beautiful thing is what's going to help us do some gorgeous free motion quilting. All right. So you need to do that. You also need to, let's bring it over here. You also need to, I like to change my stitch length. I turn it all the way down to 0. So that makes it so my feed dogs aren't moving. But I also like to lower my feed dogs just so they're completely out of the way. I also turn my speed down because I don't like to go super fast when I'm quilting, okay? So Speed does not equal good quilting, just so you know. And that's how I set up my machine for free motion quilting. I am using some Coats & Clark machine quilting thread. It's a 30 weight thread. It's cotton. And this is my favorite quilting thread. It works great with my machine and it's cheap. Okay. So I know some people are very picky about their machine quilting thread. I'm picky about this one because I like it. It's cheap. It's easy. So far I can find it. I find it in Walmart. Okay. So I'm just going to change out my foot really quick here. It's really easy to change out. Just screw it in. All right. And now I am ready to free motion quilt, okay? Which block do I want to do first? I think I'm going to do the wavy quilting in this blue because it'll look like the waves of the sea, maybe. So that's kind of my thinking anyways. When you're free motion quilting, you can use quilting gloves. Those work really well, actually. I personally don't usually like to wear them because I have naturally very warm hands and they get even warmer in those gloves. But they do help because these gloves have kind of a grippy texture on the fingers, which helps you grip the fabric. I'm actually going to take this wristband off. My wrist is feeling pretty good right now. So yeah, those gloves work really well. I just personally don't wear mine. I actually just got some in. I'm going to start stocking them in my shop because I believe they are a great product. Let's get this situated and we are gonna do some free motion quilting. So I'm actually gonna start on the right and move left because it's just gonna be a little bit easier for me. But okay, so I am going to do the curve just like I did on my paper. And I'll try to get a few different angles so you can really see what I'm doing. So a lot of times if I can, I like to just start off in the batting of the quilt and then move in. If I were to be starting in the center of the quilt, I start my stitches in a seam if I can. There I will forward stitch a couple of stitches and then back stitch, and then those stitches are secure, and then I'll move into my free motion quilting. And I'll show you how to do that in another video, in another one of these. But for this one, I can just start up here with the batting. All right. So let's just let's do one and see how it goes. Okay. Notice how slow I'm going. And I stop frequently to adjust the quilt. That's all part of it. Also, when I'm quilting, I kind of have my hands like this around the needle. And that's it. Kind of, your hand kind of creates a little frame, I guess is a good way to think of it. So I am going to continue my curves. All right, now I stopped where my next block starts, okay? Now I'm gonna try something here. So I am gonna stitch in the ditch over to where I want my next curve to start. And then I'm gonna go backwards and go up that way. So here I'm gonna stitch in the ditch a little ways. About 1.5 inches. Okay. And now we're gonna go back up, and I'm gonna use this as a guide and just kind of follow along. Ah, that turned out pretty cute. Can you see that? That's pretty cute. So I'm going to move over a little bit and just keep on going. So I'll actually just move over in the batting. Okay, and then continue on following my curve.
Please leave a light on for Christmas, for all who spend it on their own. Please leave a light on for Christmas, and maybe one so lost can finally find a home. Please keep your hopes up for Christmas, that maybe all the firing will cease.
So that's what it looks like. See, it is not perfect. I don't want them to be exactly the same. So I did kind of deviate a little bit because I want it to look very organic and kind of fluid as the stitches go. But look how nice that looks. Isn't that cute? I love it. And you could do these, really, you could do these vertical or you could do them horizontal. I personally like doing it vertical. It seems easier to do that way. But so yeah, that is what we're doing. I'm going to try to see if I can get the camera like right in front of me and show you what it looks like from my point of view. We'll see if I can do that. Okay. Hold on a minute. All right. Well, I think this is pretty much the best that I can get with my current setup here. Let's move on over. And I'm moving over again like 1.5 inches. It's not super far. And let's keep on going.
Please keep your hopes up for Christmas, then maybe this whole world can finally be at peace. I believe we can.
It's really important when you are free motion quilting that you're not allowing the quilt to hang off of your table. If the quilt is pulling in this direction, like towards you, if the gravity is pulling it down, it's going to make it really hard to, one, keep in line with the design that you're trying to do. And it's going to make it, it's going to give those stitches really weird tension, and it's going to look messy and just be less than ideal, right? So really make sure that your quilt is not hanging off of your table while you're quilting. All right, we're going to go back up. There we go. Move on over. And then we are just going to repeat that process and quilt the rest of this block, okay? So I'm going to move you actually over onto the other side, and I'm going to play some pretty holiday music, and we're going to finish this up, and then we'll do a little chit chat, and then we'll be done. Our first day of Vlogmas. It's going surprisingly well so far. I'm so happy.
If we just believe we can, and I believe we must, find a way to build some trust. And you know I'm sure, if we just walk through that door.
look, my bobbin ran out. It's typical. All right, this is a good learning experience here for you guys, okay? And I get questions about this often. So if my bobbin runs out in the middle of free motion quilting, in the middle of an area, this is what I do, okay? It may not be the right way or what other quilters would recommend, but this is what I do. It works great, and I've never had issues with it. It's really not that noticeable if you stay on the stitches. So basically what I'm going to do, this is where my stitches ran out, right here, okay? So I am just going to get my needle right over, like 2 stitches back from where my bobbin ran out. And I'm going to stitch forward 2 stitches, stitch back, and then continue stitching, okay? And that's how I do it. So I'll just show you here real quick. I'll just stitch forward, 1, 2, then I stitch back, 1, 2, well, I'll do 3. And then I just continue my stitching right over those stitches. And continue on like nothing happened. And then I just cut off that tail. And there's a few more stitches there, but it's really not that noticeable, especially after you wash it. Here, let me show you. Come closer, girl. So let's see. Can we find out? Yeah, see, that's where the bobbin ran out, and that's where I did those back stitches. So it's really not that noticeable. And in the grand scheme of things, you know, I think it's going to be all right. It looks good. I have seen where some quilters, they will actually bury their stitches as if you were hand quilting. And if you feel the need to do that, then do that, okay? I just don't feel the need. I think this looks fine. And I've never had a complaint from any quilts that I've given to people. So I think it worked out okay. But, so yeah, all right, let's continue quilting, all right?
We could have all we're asking for and more. This Christmas, please let it be so.
There we go. Look at that. That is our first free motion quilting. Whoop. I think that looks pretty cute. And it's going to look really nice once I wash this because it'll get a little bit of a quilt crinkle, which I personally love the quilt crinkle. That is our first quilting. Pretty cute, huh? I like how it's not perfect, and it really does look like, it looks like water. It looks like waves. Very cool. So what did you think for our first free motion quilting tutorial to kick off Vlogmas? How was it? Not too bad, right? This is such a fun design to do. It looks really cool when you do it on an entire quilt, but I quite like it on just this one block. It really looks really nice. So this is what it looks like vertical. If you were to do it horizontally, that's what it would look like. See? Doesn't that look like ocean waves? Really cool. I love it. So I hope you enjoyed doing this free motion quilting design with me. Really, I really do think it's probably the easiest just because I don't think you can go wrong with it. And there's so many different variations of it that you can do. You can really do a lot of dips and valleys and stuff. Or you can just, you know, just kind of have like a very gentle wave. It's so fun. It's a really good starter to starting in free motion quilting. A really great starter for our Vlogmas, I think. And I hope you enjoyed it. If this is your first time seeing me, by the way, my name is Miriam. I don't think I introduced myself at the beginning, but I talk about all kinds of quilting things here on YouTube. I do a lot of tutorials. I share projects that I'm working on. We do quilt patterns, and I also have a little tiny online quilt shop, and that's been going really well. So I've been showing some behind the scenes stuff with that and just kind of sharing how that process is going. If you're interested in kind of hanging out with me and doing some more quilting and, you know, becoming quilt friends, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. It's free and you get to be notified whenever I put on a video, which is normally when it's not December, it's every Friday. So, yeah, I'd love for you to join. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. And if I get a lot of questions, we could always do like a live Q&A session during this Vlogmas thing. That might be kind of fun to do as well. So let me know if you guys would want me to do a live. I know I always say that doing a live is kind of intimidating to me, which it is, but I feel like it could be fun. It could be a fun hangout time. So let me know what you would like. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Vlogmas! Oh, I should show the whole quilt over here. Come over here for a second. Oh my goodness, it's freezing out here. It is freezing. I have this little space here. It is not doing its job. This is the whole quilt. Ta-da! Oop, ta-da! Oh, this is gonna be really cute. I love the colors. They're kind of retro, kind of groovy, but it's gonna look really nice. And this is the one that we did today, which was down on the bottom corner. Whoops. Little piece of cardboard. Check that out. So this is gonna be so cozy. I'm really looking forward to quilting this whole thing. I also want to say a huge thank you to everyone that shopped my Black Friday sale. This was my first Black Friday sale, you know, because I just started my online little quilt shop, fabric shop, whatever, in June. So it's been a learning experience, very, very fun. I sold out on pretty much everything with my pre-cuts. I definitely still have yardage available, so today's the last day of my sale. If you see this before the stroke of midnight tonight on December 1st, the sale is still going on. And then whatever I have left, I'll probably cut up into more bundles and then just have those for sale either later this month or in January, kind of depending on time and if I have it. If I have time to get stuff listed and cut and everything. So, we will see. Yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for shopping my sale. It means so much to me. Have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you soon. And, let's do some really fun quilting this month, you guys, okay? Bye-bye.